Hey, welcome. Guess what? Things are different this week. We're actually recording together. So what you're going to see is a little bit more live interaction between Big Ben, and myself, Coop. And I guess, without further ado, here we go. As always, we like to give ourselves some real good shameless self-promotion to our brand 60. It's a wonderful sports uniform and teamwear brand, bringing to you vivid colors, great fabrics, and as always, free mock-ups. And we being two proud Canadian dudes, like to promote that we are uniquely Canadian. And we wouldn't be the Chasin Bling Podcast without our friends at Legend Rings, who bring you some of the best in the championship ring market. All right. Well, as we get moving along here, we have something new for you this week. It's kind of an interesting and funny story. What all good people who want to get better do is find and evaluate what you've done in the past. Well,
we did that.
We did that. And we found that we have a bit of a tick. A bit.
Might be an understatement.
Yes. So what Ben and I have found is that our fallback phrase for both of us is the phrase, you know.
You know.
You know.
You know.
So we thought we would have a little bit of fun with it and fun for you as you follow along. And without further ado, we would like to introduce you to the Chasin Bling Podcast drinking game, which is sponsored by our new sponsor at Black's Distillery here in Peterborough, Ontario. They make some absolutely phenomenal stuff. They've got an award-winning gin. Their 5-year whiskey is so smooth it's not funny. And they're working on something very, very, very special. Again, that's my second fallback. I like to say very a lot. But what they're doing is creating something that is from another part of the world that people tend to enjoy with a little ice.
Oh,
maybe not.
Maybe
a little. But as we get going along here, and as we would like to have a little fun with you guys, so every time you catch us with our catchphrase, you take a sip. So if you would like to get a hold of, if you're in the area and you're looking for Black's Distillery, they are in East City on Honor Street. They are available online, and they are available to deliver with DoorDash. And very soon they will be distributing nationwide via their website. So good things from Black's Distillery.
Good things to come.
All righty. So I guess that pops us into this week's topics.
Well, first topic. The Final 8. This is the time of year where the university athletes hit the hoops. And this year it's in UBC out in British Columbia. There's Final 8 because there are 8 teams in this year's, starting with Ottawa, UBC, Concordia, UPEI, Queens, Calgary Dinos, Bishop, and Victoria.
that men's draw is going to be pretty good. And I will say, I'm a little biased because I did go to the University of British Columbia. They will put on a show like no other. The facilities there, that the two facilities that they're using, both for the men's and women's draws, are amazing. They're using the large venue that was built for ice hockey in the Olympics, and then the old traditional War Memorial Gym, a little bit more, little bit tighter venue.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the teams that play in the tighter venue to see how they react to not only the fans, but just the atmosphere in general.
Mm-hmm. And then as exciting, we have this year with the Final Eight hosting both the men's and the women's. We have Saskatchewan, Ottawa, Carleton, UBC, St. Mary's, Bishops, Laval, and the University of Alberta in competition. All of these schools are super basketball schools. And, I encourage anyone that watches that's in the Vancouver area to head out this weekend to support USPORTS Basketball, and because these athletes are absolutely amazing. They can do things with the basketball that not many people can.
No.
So get out,
go support,
enjoy some basketball. I know that I've had the opportunity to attend a few of these tournaments, and they are very well done. The hosts put on a great show. I was able, the one closest to us here that I was able to take the kids to was in Ottawa, and they used the Senators Arena. The men's draw final was pretty electric because it ended up that it was University of Ottawa versus Carleton, the two Ottawa universities. And the students came out, the local community came out. There had to have been at least 17,000 people in the arena for a Canadian college basketball game, and it was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, like you said, it is phenomenal. And this year, go out, go support the athletes. They'll remember it. And that's all you can do to Canadian athletes is go to support them.
Absolutely. So on to our next topic, which I know we both went back and forth with discussing as to what this would look like on the pod.
Yes. We took some time to discuss, well, not only both players, but both different generations that these players played in, and how it could entail in, the GOAT debate or the GOAT of goal scorers debate.
So I know that we have some interesting views on both parts.
Yes.
I come from the Gretzky generation, so I'm a little biased towards Wayne and what he was able to achieve. I am not trying to throw shade at Ovi at all. It will be what makes it interesting for me is not the fact that he will, it's the fact of when. And I look at it as in the debate as if Ovi is able to achieve the record in fewer games than Wayne.
Okay.
And therefore that's kind of my determining factor as to if one is as effective a goal scorer as the other. I know you have some thoughts on this.
Well, it's different because these two players played in two completely different eras of the game of hockey. It is completely changed. Wayne, his office was behind the net, whereas Ovi's, his office is the left hash mark. The similarities is throughout their whole careers, they could never be stopped in their office. They played over 1,600 games and they cannot still be stopped. But it's the way they scored, the people they scored against is where I come into different on the subject. I believe and that Ovi is a better goal scorer than Wayne for the sole purpose of the game is faster, the goalies are bigger, the equipment is bigger, and you have less time and space than you ever had when you have the puck on your stick.
And I can see that, but come on. Wayne used the trunk of a tree to score goals.
Yes, he did use a 2x4 to score his goals.
Those things weren't very flexible.
No, they weren't. But I guess given the equipment and stuff and the advancements, you could argue the fact that it is a little easier to get the puck in the air and with velocity in the back of the net.
Yeah, I guess, the floppy fish goalie technique has kind of gone by the wayside.
It's kind of gone by the wayside. There's more of a technique now when it comes to goalies. They are absolutely enormous now. The biggest goalie in the NHL is 6'8".
Wow, that's a big dude.
Where the biggest goalie when Wayne played was 6'1".
That's a bit of a difference in size.
It's a bit of a increase in difference, but athletes tend to get bigger and faster as time goes on, and the game adapts.
Now I know the other part of the equation on the GOAT debate side is the all-round player.
Yes.
So, I think we're both fairly equal on our opinions through this, that because of the fact that Wayne has so many more assists throughout the same duration of time, he wasn't just a prolific goal scorer, but he was actually a better setup man.
Well, yeah, you said it the best. Like Wayne had 1,249 more assists than Ovechkin has right now. Ovechkin just clipped his 1,600 point last week, where Wayne finished his career with over 2,000 points. It's not easy to see that Ovechkin, there's similarities, but when it comes to the greatest hockey player of all time, it's not close.
Yeah, when we were looking up stats the other day and looking at the year-to-year comparisons over both careers, and the thing that absolutely stood out was there was only one season for Gretz where he didn't have 1.5 to 2 points per game throughout his entire 20-year career.
Yeah.
That is outstanding.
Well, it's also unheard of.
Yeah.
Players today can't eclipse that. It's almost nearly impossible to score at 2 points or even 1.5 points per game. It's a pace that really can't be matched.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess, we're similarly different in our thought process, but both, I think we can both say that both players, no matter what era, phenomenal.
Yes, they're both great in their own areas and different. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes this debate a really good one.
Very, very different. I think I saw this morning, a video of Ovi absolutely filling some dude. That wasn't part of Wayne's game.
No.
Wayne had a couple,
yeah,
but they weren't long, and they didn't have a whole lot of punches thrown. And on that note, we will move into a conversation that we're going to revisit.
Yes, this week, as most of you may know, it's the Players' Championship Week. It started this morning. We talked about this topic 2 weeks ago on our first podcast. So we're going to revisit the topic because, some things have happened in a couple of weeks with the golfers.
And we like golf.
And we love golf.
Yeah, so why don't you rehash who you had chosen 2 weeks ago as your front runner and your dark horse?
Yes, so my front runner I'd chosen 3 weeks ago was Colin Morikawa. That has to be seen how well he plays this week, but last week he showed up at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He led after round 3 and eventually couldn't get it done down the stretch. He lost by a stroke to Russell Henley. But that being said, he did lead the field at the Arnold Palmer Invitational in ball striking. And traditionally, this golf course is a ball striker's golf course. Being able to keep it in play and hit the shots you want to hit is very impactful come Sunday. My dark horse is Sepp Straka, the Australian. This guy can pound the golf ball. He can get it down there. My only concern for him is when it comes Sunday, can he either put a big number up to contend or can he hold off the field come Sunday?
And for me, my favorite to win was Oberg.
Yes.
He's been playing fairly steadily well through the early parts of this season, and he's got the ball striking ability to manage his way around this course. And then my dark horse was Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes.
And as we all know, sometimes when the wind blows in Florida, it blows hard. And so, picking a young lad from England to manage his way around a blustery course was my pick. Like you said, this course is very demanding.
Oh, it's extremely demanding.
And that is one of the reasons why this is such a fun tournament for me to watch. That was amplified when I was able to step on the grounds at the championship course at TPC Sawgrass a few years ago, when I had the opportunity to go down and get inside the outer ropes and take a walk around and take a walk around on the practice days where the course was somewhat empty, and you were able to get a broader picture of what the course itself is like in how it moves. When you see images like this come tournament day, this picture was taken on the Thursday, opening day of the tournament, and things get a little tighter.
Yes.
When the crowd packs in and you get some of those natural amphitheaters that the tournament course was created for, you get a real good perspective of how good of a shot maker you need to be on this course.
Well, and that plays well too for 17. The 17's designed as an island green, but we all know on the left side it's packed full of people, and then around the back of the green it's packed. So that auditorium or close-knit feel is really going to come impactful once tournament starts.
Well, it's an interesting setup, and I know like the TV coverage shows it well, but it really doesn't do it justice as to what is around, because you have 16 coming down the one side of the lake, and 17 on the other. And you have people lined up on the far side of 16, right in around the green complex. And then from the back of the green on 16 to the tee on 17 is your 2-story luxury deck for all of your sponsors or some of your sponsors and whatnot. And then on the ground in front, you have, probably 5 or 6 rows of people lined there. And then, as we all know, down the one side of 17, you have the suites plus a hill full of people.
Hill packed full of people.
It is quite the amphitheater when it gets rolling. And when those players get a little get rolling, and there's big things happening, and it doesn't matter whether it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. When players are making shots, that place is loud.
Oh yeah. So my question to you is, it's supposed to be nice first round, second round, and third round. Sunday there's calling for rain.
Ooh.
And we know typically this course runs fast and tight. Do you think with the rain coming, it'll slow things down and give an opportunity for a couple players to go low.
It depends on it really depends on the rain itself, because of all of the work that goes into courses like the TPC at Sawgrass and like the Masters and whatnot. They've all got sub air systems that can manipulate the play of the greens and whatnot. But I think with a few of the new tweaks, everybody's going to be challenged.
Yes.
My prediction is not a -20 winner.
No.
My prediction is probably this week going to be 7, maybe 10.
See, and that's pretty conservative because I had -13 in my head. So we're pretty similar in the same direction of where we think this tournament might go.
Well,
Sunday.
And as we talked before we went on camera today, that new tee deck on 6.
Yes, that tree is going to play an impact.
Holy moly, I don't want to play that hole at all, ever.
You catch it a little fat and it's going to hit that
I'll
trunk.
probably be playing it from the Reds.
Another question that also is brought up this week is Scotty Scheffler.
Mm-hmm.
He has a chance to do something only one golfer has ever done at TPC, and that is not only win the tournament 3 times, but win it 3 times consecutively, and that golfer is Jack Nicklaus. He would be joining. Do you think Scotty has a chance this week?
Scotty's always got a chance. That guy is a phenomenal golfer. He seems to be able to eclipse the field in the biggest events. He wouldn't be the back-to-back Players Champion. He wouldn't be the FedEx Cup champion without being able to perform on a big stage. Like we just talked about, the Players is one of the biggest stages in golf.
Yes.
And so he's always got a chance. Now, that being said, the start to his season hasn't been as electric as it was last year. Whether that's due to, him wanting to spend a little bit more time at home with the new family, which I can definitely understand, and a little less time at the range, I don't know. He puts a lot of time into his craft.
He does.
So maybe it's just a slow start. And we all know that any one player can have a great tournament at any time.
Yes.
And so, I would never count him out.
And I wouldn't count him out either. The way he can hit a ball and place it into spots around this golf course has been seen in the last 2 years. It's whether or not if Scotty of old from last year can show up from little glimpses come Sunday to give himself a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we do have to talk about another 2-time champion.
Yes.
With the news that came out this week with Tiger Woods tearing his Achilles,
yes,
and now being out for another considerable break. Are we going to see him in another tournament?
Well, that's tough to say, but I would have to say I don't think we're going to see him again. Maybe the Masters, because he can go back every year until he decides that his golf days are done professionally. But I don't think we see Tiger back inside the ropes again. The countless back surgeries, knee surgeries, ACL repairs, now an Achilles, and not to mention his one foot is completely screwed together.
Yeah.
And he just got back walking fine now after that accident. I don't think we see Tiger again, but what do you think on that, Jim?
Well, it's hard to say. With Tiger is 3 years younger than me. So I am a fan. I most of my golf watching years have been watching him do things that nobody else did.
Yes.
And for what he's done for the game of golf globally it's going to be a sad day when he announces that he's done with competitive golf, because in my heart I still think he's got some juice left in him. But the other thing that comes to the conversation is with all of the things that is happening to his body, physiologically, how has his past played a part? Like for me, being a former CFL football player, there were countless protein powders and different kinds of things of that nature that were there to help enhance muscle growth and recovery and things of that nature. As we grow older, our bodies are reacting to some of the things we did when we were younger. And, is it a result of that? Is it a result of just the torque and the pressures he put on his muscles and his ligaments and so on when, with the way he swung when he was younger? Is it the way he trained? Who knows? It's hard to say. Is it the result of the accidents and just putting his body in different biomechanical positions?
Yes.
We don't know. All I know is I wish him a safe and speedy recovery. And I look forward to the next time he tees it up anywhere, be it on a PGA Tour course, be it in one of the majors, or be it on TGL.
Yes. He's got different avenues now where he can, still play the game of golf. But I'm with you. Is it something he did in his training? Is he still training like a 20-year-old? We don't know, but we know how competitive the man is, and it'll be safe to see if he does come back in this game.
I was able to see him play when I was down at the Players, and I hope to see him in this pose once again.
Yeah.
Well,
another week.
That's awesome. I'm happy that we were able to, have a little bit more of a live conversation. And, I look forward to more of these.
Yes.
As we move forward, we'll look to enhance the den and give everybody a different look from week to week. But thank you for joining, whether it was on our live podcast or whether you're going to hit us up as we say goodbye today and you're going to watch a little later. As always, please give us your comments in the section. Give us a like, a subscribe, or a share as you follow along. We would greatly appreciate it. And
go see our friends at Black Distillery. They have good things to offer.
They do, All right, guys. See you next week.
See you next week.